absolutely emotionally invested. This veto alone is our wet dream. We get Vertigo, Ancient, right out of the gate. Semi-finals, it's Gambit debut on Ancient, never mind a G2 rehashing it. We start on Vertigo. Gambit picked Vertigo, and we're starting with them on the T side. This is going to be a treat, Chad. Let's get it started.
Oh, straight up towards A here. There's a lot of conviction behind this. Nafany leading the charge, and the rest of the team behind him. They've got space, and they've got util. Molly out to Sandy.
3B early. Like, they're going to be pushing for a fast three-man flank. The smoke is up. I imagine the bomb to follow. What's Nico to do other than throw out a couple of glancing stray bullets? They don't find the mark. Bomb faked, I believe.
Yeah, they're getting it down now, expecting stack nades, and this flank has gotten in position in time. The USPs up the ramp are going to be great.
Yeah,
just need to deal with Nafany.
As soon as Nafany falls, Shiro's going to have a lot on his plate.
Oh, that smoke is faking. They're playing retake.
Here they come. 3 spotted. Hunter on his way. Axel deals with one at the front of the pack. It's Shiro with his first blood drawn. Looking good for Gambit. Amanek changes things. He's a very sharp tool in the G2 shed.
Might need to defuse. The kid's too far away.
Yes, a shot from Amanek has come through wildly. And now a one-on-one. Nexa has a chance. He has a chance that he seizes.
There's no time. Wait, is there?
No. Well, why would he be there?
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Well.
I guess he realized he wasn't going to get anywhere further enough away. I think he could have probably made it away to save a USP. Didn't have armor, so no stress there. Well, okay, that at least keeps Gambit honest, but they will take the pistol, and look at that. Axel straight in with a full armored AK-47. I mean, something we have to say, Chad, and we should say it early, is tonight, this head-to-head is going to be the very best, like, server full of individuals.
Yeah, I think with Axel's form so far in IEM Summer, the kid's sitting on a heater, and then you have the aim in, I wanted to say just Nico and Hunter, but Jax as well in terms of crispiness is absolutely wild. So right now, tonight, we are going to see some first bullet accuracy like never before. And the force buy out from G2. They've been getting better and better at Vertigo, adjusting their CT setup what feels like every couple of weeks with the roster changes. They finally settled on having Jax and Amanek over towards A.
I was really like impressed or intrigued by the amount of praise on your podcast Hampus gave to Amanek, stating he was the best player on G2.
Yeah, and I was as well, because when you consider the mechanical brilliance of the Kovac cousins, especially what Nico has achieved as being considered one of the best players in the world, that's such a tall order of a comment.
But I'm not going to dispute it in terms of what he's played against, what he's witnessed. Amanek does a lot for G2, and there's a reason he's still on this roster. Definitely perhaps a little underrated in the grand scheme. Now, they are walking B, and it's wide open for the taking. What's Nexa got? Ah, he does have a smoke. If he could just get that now, ooh, even some info. Might be able to segregate them a little. Hobbit's taking a lot of space, but the MP9 mid-range. Oh, and 2 from Nexa. Above the Call of Duty, Shiro's getting chipped away at. However, body's now dropped. G2 in a 3v3. Smoke will buy some space. Flank coming in, 2 from Jens. Nico doesn't check, and Nafany collects. Looks like a Gambit second. Threatening on that scout. Hunter connecting, taking Shiro down and out. See if we can get some of that aim out of Jackson Hunter. Their health implies they're up against the odds. An elevated position from Nafany, brave to adopt such an angle. But the element of surprise enough to convert. Yeah, he's going to let that bomb tick away, see if he can catch one on the next jiggle. Ooh, Jaxie boy. Keeping them there. But Gambit make it too. And don't lose that AK in the process either.
Good stuff from Nafany there, dealing with the flank and then finding 2 more impactful kills, not sustaining any more damage. And what was great from Nexa, right? We have actually seen him play that style quite retaking over towards B a lot because they gamble mid, they gamble heavy A in the games from G2 that we've had the privilege of commentating recently. And Nexa normally gets locked on out. So that smoke, great, and the fights were even better, but it still results in the same situation for G2. It has to be an eco. Nexa is going to buy into a Deagle here with a bit of Kevlar to back it on up. Jax, peering on down, only with that USP in hand, and we know he loves hanging around this sandbag position, keeping things jarring for the aggressing T's as they make their way slowly, steadily up the ramp. Inters is on his way back now, will be picking up that bomb. Shiro's taken a bit of flak damage to the Molotov. They just walked up basically dry here, so it's going to be an aim map for them to close out this round.
Oh, and Axel and Hobbit demonstrate exactly that aim we were just talking about.
One thing I would love to know is with Axile, how does he train his aim? Like, is he just getting an aim box and then warming up that wrist, or does he do a lot of pre-fires? Like, I would love to know in which way that he's getting his mechanical brilliance to be polished on up, because his peaks, his crosshair placement definitely facilitates a lot of those frags. But then, you know, when he's in those whippy moments, he also can pull it out. So maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe that's all this kid does is just frags day in, day out. Clean one here from Gambit, so good recovery after the last round that was a little bit scrappier. But we will see the guns coming out in the next round of play. Now that Amanek AWP, I think, was a big part of the Hampus discussion right now. Hampus said that he thinks that a good rifler is better than a good AWPer, but the way that Amanek wields that AWP, right, he's doing it more as... he's not necessarily the one opening the rounds, he's the one who's playing it as more of a utility AWP, right? Locking down key areas, making the presence felt. Hunter's bought into an AUG here. Amanek will bring out that big green. Kit for Nexus, so the cash is there for all the goodies here. A little bit light on U2 with the AWPer, but that's not the end of the world. And now we really get to see what G2 have been working on here. Gap smoke from Hobbit.
Default spread, enters to mid. Jack's undeterred by that tracer fire through from Nafany, throwing some of his own downrange as well.
It's going to be quite the interesting fight, isn't it? Nafany and Jax on that ramp. We know that Nafany is very brawly, and we normally see him going up against other in-game leaders who get behind the smoke, but Jax tends to keep a little bit more range. Yeah. So that'll be a curious little battle in its own.
Well, I mean, especially when we swap sides, because it's going to be Jax and Nafany doing the same thing to each other. With Nafany, he does have a bit more of an aggressive stance, likes to get in front of the ramp smoke and catch a timing. Jax is playing with fire here, yeah, overextended. Amanek's full committed to the sandbags, so shorts on a timer. He's begging for Nico to come fill the gap.
There's only one molly for this position as well, so that actually doesn't hurt Amanek here, and they're heading on back.
Oh, he's going to get caught out here.
Problems.
Big miss. Amanek falls, and now they can go wherever they desire. It seems like Nexa is at least going to be able to get an early warning if he could just take a couple with him.
Oh, might be spotted here.
Yeah, that's the bomb spotted as well. Nafany swings in. Nexa cannot get the crosshair in the right spot. Smoke might at least keep him at bay, but straight over the top of it is Nafany for info, peeking off the flash. Oh, Nafany still finds an angle over that smoke. Just as he drops off as well. So that's twice now. Nafany's only times he's got frags has been a double, triple, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Every time he's gone B. 2 for 2 from Nafany and the frags on the B site.
That's a scary scene as well, right? If Nafany's the one, because he tends to have these games, right? They're not consistent, and you don't need them to be from the in-game leader. You want your Hobbits, you want your Axiles, you want your Shiros to be consistent with their star level performances. But when Nafany's feeling the game, he's one of those scary in-game leaders that he's making those intuition reads. He's always in the right place. Oh, and that one just thrown away there. Nico throws himself into that AWP. Shiro collects, smoked on off. Bit of argy-bargy around middle, and maybe even a bit more over towards A. Nafany on the scaffolding position. Multiple targets to deal with here as the smokes do fade.
Real nuisance on B. Axal just wins the war of attrition. The site is theirs. The round to fall in place as well. Ooh, Hobbit's gone looking elevators. He hears Amanek, so he's got 2 potential victims all lined up on his plate here.
Oh, well, that was easy. Okay. Well, very diligent in the classic Gambit-esque way. Just Nexa now trying to hold on to this AK. And this is a clean start from Gambit here. Would be a scary force to see them just come and roll over this G2 roster, who I know the desk before the veto were thinking this was their time to make it through to a grand final and potentially pick up that trophy.
Before the veto, yeah.
Yanko, after, I think Yanko did say, I hope they lose. It's amazing. He sees Ancient get big, and you can understand that,
well, okay,
right?
so was that your knee-jerk reaction when you saw Ancient is G2 are showing weakness? Because that was Kassan and YNK's.
Yeah, I can understand that logic, right? In a very big way. So they're not confident in their map pool otherwise, so they're leaning on something that is untested,
unknown,
right?
Yeah.
They're thinking, oh, we need to pull out that the random card.
Because that's what underdogs do.
Yeah.
Okay, I
see.
I see what you're saying.
So I'm definitely with them in that right there, but then Kassad also said, well, if they've been playing a lot in the last 4 days, imagine if they've just owned on it, right? The last 4 days they've come in, they've smashed everywhere. They think, well, hey, we haven't been able to beat Gambit or anything else. We may as well try Ancient. That factors in as well here.
Jax, regardless of his failures previously, is still trying to demand respect on ramp. It's cost him half of his health. Axel's going in. He's going in thick and fast, trying to catch the blind spot. Hunter's there to babysit, but Inter's to catch Nexa on the default, and it looks like Gambit want to go B again.
I just did this with 2 players.
You can see Axel's flight path. It's pretty good for the blind spot on default if no one's there on construction. Oh no, Amanex in a spot of bother, saved by the bell, bomb delivered, bridge smoked, Nafany's on A. Real hijinks now. I need Chad to help screw my head on tight, because Shiro's pushing for ramp control. The bomb's loose now on A. Shiro's just taken some space back. Nafany's flanking onto Amanek. It's all backwards. They have time to do whatever they want now. The bomb's been picked up.
And can go all the way back to B, where Inters are still locking down this rotation. So Hunter is low HP. He's going to be the first responder. Shiro needs to get that, and now Inters collects.
Oh, dear.
The smoke to deny even more time. The bomb should go down on B here. No dramas. It's just Nico now.
Same fate for Nico if he starts his crawl. Shiro gets across. If he's not close right, process of elimination dictates he might be close left. Amanek calling in. Oh, Shiro brings the fight to Nico. And Amanek starts to tuck his head within his shell. Gambit will make it 6-0. Now that is not the start G2 were looking for, to state the obvious and then some.
Speedrunning this one, aren't they?
They are. I mean, look at the casualties of the last, what, 4 rounds Gambit have picked up. They've kept 5 alive in some, 3 in others, 4 in others. They're building a lovely, nurturing a lovely bank account. As Shiro keeps up his, isn't he? He's the very best at the moment for deaths per round, or least deaths per round.
Yeah, he's good at staying alive, old Shiro. Amanek. Oh, he's going to hold on the orb. Yes, he will. Okay. Shoves the barrel in the belly of Shiro there and does get the kill. So retaining that is important. We're already at the max loss bonus, obviously. 3,400 time and time again. Jax can buy. Amanek can drop. Nico could go rifle with Kevlar. So they might be able to make this one possible. But it's not going to be the best of buys. And, well, this is one of the easiest kills you'll be seeing here. You see when the bomb goes off, they make a bit of a run. The sound, the rumble. Always a time to start making a couple of extra steps. This timeout from G2, the fact that they had a pretty decent chance in that round, right? Bomb gets dropped. There was still all the chaos with Nafany. It felt like that was one of their best options, but they didn't know how to react because that situation, the fact we're sitting there not knowing what's going on, they haven't discussed those type of protocols. What do we do if we drop the bomb forklift, but there's a guy in A and a guy on bridge, right? That is one of those scenarios you have to react to on the fly.
And you can see the way Nafany was playing that as well. Like, he knew how much freedom he had, and he managed to make it count. Conservative Deagles around a saved AWP. Let's see if Amanek can really shift the tides of battle here, put just a first on the board for G2. Gambit love taking that early ramp, and they'll do it again. Amanek dispatched to mid.
If Amanek calls this clear behind the Jenny, they could push some of the Deagles through and try and lock them down from rotating back. But right now it is just Jax, lonesome Jax, over towards the sandbag position, does have a smoke. So if they molly him, he can smoke and he just has to live. That's going to allow the cavalry. Amanek's going down the ladder?
Yeah, he's playing this like a full rifle now. Jax needs to live, but nades secure his fate. What's he supposed to do now? Full A site lost. Amanek is going to try and flank with the AWP. Maybe one. Tip of Inter's head. Oh, and his backpack visible. But Nico's Deagle is actually continuing to channel them into that AWP. A couple of chances have gone awry. It's still Deagle working for G2. Nexa now contributing. Nico's popping off. G2 given a chance now. They have a smoke. They've lost Nico. Shiro's got 2 targets, 2 different sides of the map. He's isolating. Nexa will finish the job, and G2 finally break their silence. And Nico's deagle is a big reason as to why.
Oh, those shots. Something special right there out of Nico, and that's what you want from your superstar. First round on the board, and it felt like Amanek was in the best place for an AWP to be on the CT side, trying to retake A. Yeah, you can stay down in fork room. That's all good. That flurry in the last seconds there. Shiro gets that kill. It becomes a very winnable round. He knows that Amanek's coming from behind, can dance around the bomb box and delay for as long as possible. No kits in play. You can see there the lengthened diffuse. And okay, well, they're on the board. How many more can they start to throw together now? They've given themselves a little bit of extra cash by winning on a round like that. Amanek and Jax heading over towards A to deal with this. Lobbing out some flashes towards B will keep the util honest of Nexa. And Amanek's actually copped a bit of a leg shot here, so he's popped on down to 27. And Hunter's dead already as well. Axile's just marauding into the side.
They didn't check Nexa. Nexa's got a good chance for 2. They didn't know where he died from. Axile could not give a call. It's fading, and Nexa's committing. The wild spray from Nafany regains control of the stairs, or at least he assumed. Nico fills the gap in time. What now? Says Hobbit with his Glock out in T-spawn. Bomb lost, bodies have dropped, and we have to piece this one back together again.
Rotations are pretty far away here. Amanek's very committed to mid. Jax is still dealing with elevator room, so it really is all on Nico here. Has to slow them down or get at least a frag. Even Amanek's pushing, so there's no one to help him.
Why do I feel like Shiro's going to put one straight through the boards? He's staring into the default line. Posted up, comfortable, Hobbit to walk and clear. And Nico does profit. Shiro, his next victim, takes them both. Okay, so G2, off the back of a Nico double and then a triple, make good on their promise and start to compete here in the first map of our second semi-final. See how this one went down. So Nexa, he gets 2 crucial frags. And as he falls, Nico gets those last 2.
Yeah, good stuff there. Look, if this is the Nico, you know, the semi-final and then the grand final Nico, the one who's going to show up and drop, 25 kills, that could be the difference maker for G2 here. Fast towards A will be the force by.
Yeah, he's cancelled that. Realised he could have very well given up an AWP. But look at this smoke. They're not clearing it. They are. Hobbit bodyguards his teammate to perfection. And now Gambit, they're turning up the speed. Amanek's getting overrun. Nico tries to bail him out. It costs him his life. He's exposed to Axel. Finally, he's kept honest. Space taken elsewhere. Intis has just ran through middle.
Oh, he's got the full rotation. Everybody's over towards A.
Yep.
The spoiler
this will be silent.
Oh, Nexa's just going to run into this.
Deadly as well. They got caught out by this previously. Nexa clears his corners. Intis is quicker to the trigger, and this round flips on its head just like that. Just like that.
Nafany's coming behind them. They're locked into this right now. Even if they wanted to save, they'd have to go back into Nafany.
And their after-plant positions are perfect. Yeah, Nafany's here to ruin everyone's day. Oh, and a one-click headshot as well. That kind of range, flashing for the hunt onto Hunter. Bodied.
How have they been able to pull that one off?
It's the Gambit special.
They've just launched themselves at the A bomb site. Right, you can see there they're aware of Jax's tricks. That little smoke to one-way over, he plays behind it. It's just spamming the Tech-9 through. That opening kill threw it all into a bit of a mess. Like, Hunter had 2 great kills on the site to slow that down. It forced them elsewhere, but Inter's in all of the mayhem able to pip that gap. So Inter's in these 7 rounds, 2 of which he's just controlled the rotations. Then Nafany, he's had 2 big rounds of his own, so starting to see where the 7 are coming from here. And notice how we haven't said Axel and Shiro. Well, guess what? They're the 2 towards the top of the scoreboard. 9 for Axel, 7 for Shiro. And a timeout for G2. This is going to be their second one used already, and we're about to get into round 10.
And you can't fault G2 for being convinced when they're already up short, fighting on main, and Axel's got an AK-47 on A. I'm going to start making sure my resources are there as well. Inters just gets right behind enemy lines, and that is going to sour the G2 esports mood.
One thing with G2 at this event, or now within the semi-finals, we obviously didn't see them in the quarters. They got themselves this semi-final berth. Previously, they were at home, right? They were all operating from their own bedrooms, and now they're boot camping together. So everybody in the same space. Not sure if that's going to be a positive or a negative, but check this one out. This is the Gambit special here. We've seen him a few times go for this timeout after the opponent's timeout just to take a little bit of momentum off her.
Got a feel for Amanek as well. God, that number's not wrong. He spent $10,000 into this one. Everyone's wearing a new Gucci bracelet.
Charity bin right there. Well, probably not with the Gucci bracelet.
No, you're right. In fact, they probably got 1.5. I don't really know how it works. Either way.
What was it? No, it was a Cartier bracelet, man, not a Gucci one.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one you got with your high school girlfriend? Pandora.
Pandora.
Everyone's got, every
Got the
girl
little
had a
charms on
Pandora
'em.
bracelet. Valentine's special.
Opted for a Mac 10 here. He could have been dropped an AK from Inters, so interesting decision making. Is Axel taking space? They didn't clear him. They haven't seen him.
They didn't. Oh, and Axel strikes for his 10th. Nexa feeling a bit silly after that one, and Jax could be added to the list. It's Nafany this time that falls. And what are you up to? Jax was not expecting company. Went for the AK, spots out Shiro, and lives to tell the tale.
It's not Jack and the Beanstalk. It's Jackson the overextension. Could have done more with that.
Woo, you could have. The less catchy sequel, perhaps.
They're stuck in limbo here. This is a difficult position to be. The smoke's going to fade. Amanek's bounding his way out of there.
Yeah, he's happy to have gotten that freedom. He will tuck in from the swing. They've got smokes, 3 for Gambit as one's deployed. She's just more Molotovs. There's the popped smoke.
They all rotated again.
He's flashing for their fight. Here we go. Amanek trying to react, loses vision. Jax looks away the wrong way. And now G2 are losing their sight. This was a 4 versus 3, but Gambit are making it so threatening. Smoke fades. Axel looks for reload. Will find it. Don't want to put your head in that vice. Axel's all too familiar with those duels. Elevated position for Inters. Strikes onto Nico. Running out of opportunities. Hunter gives him a way in. It's Amanek to try and shift the tide of battle. Oh, a missed shot over the shoulder. Inters to wrap it up, and it's another Inters round. Complete even kill distribution. Inters with 3. G2 cannot compete when everyone seems to be hitting their shots on Gambit.
Looking very sharp, aren't they? Gambit are very, very hot right now. 8-2, the half has been won. Now it's just how many more can they get? Just pivoting out and destroying them. Inters lighten things up, and Hobbit, he's enjoying himself there. Deagles again for G2. Now, look, they had success with these before. They're hard to replicate.
Nexa got booked in his last B defense.
It's such a tough bomb site, I think. I think the B bomb site on Vertigo, especially because you're left there to be an anchor, unless you have support early to really take control of that lobby, it's just a bloody nightmare. We've seen this boost a few times now. You catch them on the walk up, not expecting anybody to have that little lip covered. And it's 2 totem poles, so there is a bit of a gap here. They can walk up short and just pick them. Now, G2 are awares of this, but it's more off angles for the boost, right? You don't normally see this one where Jax is on top right now. It's just a slither gap right there, and maybe one that won't be cleared as they pivot up sandbag. But Nafany's always switched on in his pushes.
Oh, come on.
He's crazy good.
Come on.
He's crazy. When he booked Furia, I think it was Furia when they did that boost, like through the, I was like, this kid's mental. Like his clears.
He did a little barrel jump bait.
I don't know. Nafany's just a whole different beast on this map.
And
just
he
the way he
still
takes
peeks
info.
in. Yeah. I assumed he'd finish Jax off. It does lead to his demise. He takes 2 though. Oh, Nexa, what are you up to? Oh, well, of course they spray the smoke and stare at it. They just don't make mistakes, he says as Nexa surely has Axel's number. There's an Inter's trade. Hunter, very, very good on the dig, and they're very late to the party.
Here they come.
Hang on, smoke. That could work. If they're a kit, there isn't. And they've dropped the smoke, and Amanek playing in front of it. He has to hold it, though. And Amanek,
is there time?
Can he be the hero?
There's
Get
no
on
time.
the defuse. No one went for it. Amanek was in a prime position to contest. And no one's home. Hobbit confirms the round is theirs.
Oh, that was looking really good for a split second there.
Just a second.
All right. 9 now for Gambit, continuing to stack on the rounds. And G2, look, 6 is a salvaged half, 5 probably okay, 4, at this point I'm sure they'll be happy with that. Anything less, we can call map number 1 done. Let's just get Ancient going, baby.
Yeah, right. You'll get your Ancient. It's a guarantee.
The world number 1 team on Ancient.
Yeah.
The team who is super diligent. They have all of these little moves. They do everything by the book. But imagine how they've cracked the Ancient code.
You think they're going to have cracked it already?
Well, I want to see what they've been working on at least.
Okay, nade down the throat. Oh, and Naphany's found a blind spot on that A ramp. Jax does post a response. Hobbit's crawling on him. Hobbit heard that. He knows exactly. Whoa, okay, he's got the reaction speed. And now perhaps enough speed to reposition before the smoke fades. He's crawling his way to tuck in on the tight line.
How much does he want here? How far is Jax going to push
the
issue?
Their whole squad is coming
fading. It's
towards
going to be in the open.
Exile. Oh, no bullets. Jax would have loved another chance. Now neutralize, and they're going for a 2-man flank. The Kovac cousins group up.
Of course, Shiro's watching this. Shiro's not going to move. Hunter's just going to... Oh, okay, maybe he will move.
Yeah,
Bogdan's Law.
Throw the AWP over to Axel, and he's still rewarded. Oh, that's got to be an indicator as to where they're going, right? I mean, Hunter knows they can't leave.
Especially with the double nade as well. So Nex is on the site, ready and raring to go, but he needs to slow them down. Has a molly to do so.
Oh, they've just won
he's
by
still
one
watching.
Strafe in. I want to punch.
They're going to B.
I want to punch my monitor. I'm not even playing. I just want to.
Oh no.
He's holding it still.
They're going to B with 20 seconds left. Nexa would have to. If he's had that molly that he just threw, then yeah, maybe.
They missed theirs.
He's here.
Yeah, they missed theirs. Maybe.
Ooh.
I hate the maybe. It's not even a real maybe at this point.
No, this one's done. 5 bullets. Yeah, you can just see the writing's on the wall. As soon as they pivot that late, like after getting both kills on, come on guys, come on now.
Like Gambit are just the most lovable nerds in all of Counter-Strike.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at them.
The most lovable nerds. Because you just have to go, oh, you're still watching it. And they finish B. They spent the entire round battling tooth and nail for A. And it's an awkward retake for the CTs on B.
Oh dear, okay.
10-2, folks, if for our audio-only listeners. It's bleak. Oh, 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 Naphany flirting with the smoke.
1-in-4. Nico's had some heroics, right? The 2 rounds that Nico's won, he's had multi-kills in. So you mentioned it before, it was the 3 kills.
That's right.
So if he can do it again right now, maybe that could be G2 good for a 3rd, but things aren't looking great. And watch how good this util is. Yep, you either go backwards.
Oh, you want to go
another
forwards?
molly,
left,
and
right?
You might need to jump off here, Nexa. Yeah.
He had no options. Nothing. Just die. That was the only option presented to him. And it looks like Hobbit's been handed something similar. Axile, team damage. Oh dear, Deagles are connecting. This is now a 2v2. And don't forget, Nico has an M4. He can really rumble these last 2. Smoke fading now into starting to punch that bomb code in. And he has taken the headshot, knows the potential trade. I think he spotted him over the box. He didn't, and Axile will claim another round for Gambit. It's getting dire now. 11, the 1v1, the closest call we've seen from some time for G2.
That execute, right? I know that we got dicey in the tail end of that, but just note, right, the 2 mollies that landed were perfectly timed. The first one close to push Nexa back, then he steps into the second Molotov, and if you noted the timing of the one that was to default, it was maybe a second or half a second later, so they could scale, right? They could scale with the utility. First molly's fading, you're taking up that quad position. Second molly's fading, you're pushing up the girder. The third molly's burning out the default guy who can't be facing you. Those are the little details that we love to see. And up against it here. Same vibe, same situation, but need a different result. Respecting it this time, have been forced back. Plenty of bullets through the smoke. Jackson Amanek tucking in towards the top of A. Nexa flash forward. Doesn't see anything, and Axel actually uses that as his key to go.
Yeah, and he's going to molly Nexa out of position completely.
It's just so reactionary, right? They flash, okay, well, somebody has to be close. We're going to molly, we're going to drop the HE, so we get slowed down. And now they're just going to hit A.
They didn't even bother to molly sandbags. They just know it's not the setup. And 3
They're in.
are in.
But they're in.
Yeah, they are. And Nafany confirms it. Jax is dead on short. This crossfire just was not strong enough. Amadex dropped off the headshot box. He's so booked. He's being swung on. And it's Nafany this time to take 2 heads. Gambit just look indomitable right now.
This is beautiful stuff.
This is like, this was the G2 tournament. Do you not remember how hyped everyone was for the G2 Samurai to start slicing in the semis? Some alliteration. They didn't. At least not yet. Kept very humble in this first half.
What do we got here? Nexa has the most kills with 11, right? And a couple of those were with that MP. That was like the second round of the game. He had 2 kills with the MP9, right? Everybody else kept very quiet. You got 8 for 3 of them, Amanek, Nico, and Hunter. Jack's down the bottom there on 5. He's had a real rough go of things over towards that A ramp. No easy task. One more round here for 13-2, and oh no, Nico's gone down. Oh no.
Just leave him alone. I'm calling the bully hunters.
Oh, come on, boys. Give him something. Give him something. They're brought in, it's 5 rifles. What is the point of even talking about the buy? It doesn't matter what guns they have. They've done better with the deagles than they have with the guns.
Let's see. Will it really read 13? I think it would only make sense. It would only be fitting that it fits the 13th.
This should be a smashing now from what we've seen, right? There's always a chance for G2 to come back, but on Vertigo, looking like a whole different beast. Look at that.
Son of a gun. Shiro's taken down Amanek just on that lineup. That was as he lined up for his nade. His head exposed and his cap flipped off of his head.
Watch how they play this one now.
All right.
This is it.
Equip us, Chad. Equip us.
This is where they're going to sit back and wait for those aggressive maneuvers, right? They're going to hope that the fight comes to them. Axel dealing with the B push. They've slinked back from A, just leaving Shiro there with that AWP. And now they're trying to find an avenue through mid. Nexa has to deal with not only the B push, but the mid push. They've gambled 3 players over towards A who are all committed. As soon as Nexa goes down, unless he kills everybody, they have to retake the B bomb site.
And what's stopping G2 from kind of rotating some players off A? Just the uncertainty?
Well, they just cleared it now, so this info is great, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time. They're going to hear that rotation. Shiro will hear everything above him from elevator room and even gets the kill onto Hunter.
Oh, bother. Nexa to be tested. They may not even commit to this. They've got full mid control, don't forget, so they might just kill the rotate and go A.
Here's Albert.
Oh, there's the rotate. Oh, fortunately, Nico gets himself out of trouble. It's Nexa with a big delivery. Make it 3, go on, can't finish the job. And now the round falls once again in favor of Gambit. Bomb to be planted, time to get it down.
Look
even
at
a
all
smoke.
the nades.
He can get anything he wants out of that. It's so hard to clear this close corner. Inters is right in the blind spot. Jax tries to get a reaction. He can assume where they're coming from. Oh, great pre-fire, here we go. For 3, for some pride. Shiro wants to take it away. He's already tagged him up nicely. One more bullet secures the fate. It's 13. Unlucky for some, certainly not Gambit.
I think that the team that is going to win IEM Summer is going to be G2. I think they've played really, really well individually. I think they're on like a really top tier individual level, peaking with Hunter being really, really good. And Nico obviously as well. But if both of them can perform like they are, You know, we see two players who can completely turn a game that maybe is even strategically, you know, they're getting outplayed, but they can bring it back, make it close, and even win those types of games because of Hunter and Nico being both performing on the server, which is what was the worry before Nico came, was if Hunter would go down or if Nico would fit, because they had similar roles. But in this chaos, they've made it work, and I think that's what's gonna push them through.
The surprise team of the group stages for us was Gambit, literally. Gambit for us, it's literally the best team in the world right now, and yeah, we really wanted to show our real face against them, and we did it. So
we're living for the moment now, we're one with the world. I can't lose this feeling I get. My heart's in the right place, and so is my soul, yeah. I won't take no excuses for it. Love it, need it, live it. I feel like something's missing when I do not have it. I feel it in my bones, gotta find my space. These emotions on my face, taking a toll, I gotta pay it forward. I'll give it all that I can. No matter what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. Yeah, what I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take it no more. I won't be there.
G2's woes continue against Gambit Esports in 2021 with a 13-2 first half for Gambit on the T side of Vertigo. Yeah, it's probably one of their best maps, but G2 are getting absolutely destroyed right now, and there should be no way back in map number 1.
Yeah, it's a dire situation for G2. They just haven't been able to beat Gambit this year. They haven't. The best they've done is take a map off of them in a DreamHack Masters Spring Best of 3. Wanting to change the dialogue a little bit, and Vertigo was supposed to be the playground to do so. Gambit picked, of course. G2, though, trying to voice some concerns on their pistol. Nice find. Nafany's walked straight into the clutches of Hunter. And the entire squad is here, so hang on.
They have so many hits.
Yeah, Gambit are actually not going to be falling into an early rotate, but that's going to cost them.
Hobbit just cleared middle, so I think they were expecting this all to be a ruse right now, but they had 3 players with Smoke, Flash, and a HE, and
They were
I think
so
Gambit are
convinced.
confused. Wait, hold up, there's an A-bomb site?
Yeah.
You guys get to go over there? I'm not sure how, okay. This is a G2 pistol now. I said there should be really no way back in. Well, this is a great start, almost being gifted the pistol for free.
Yeah, they were really stubborn about that rotate. There should be no way back in.
The bomb's halfway ticked. Just hold on to the armor. I know that sounds almost insane, but they may as well just hold on to the Kevlar here.
Yeah, certainly. Especially when that second round is so important for G2. Oh, Shiro has stuck around and now he will be hunted down. Oh, he'll take a couple of bonus frags. Amanek so lucky to be alive. He was underneath the bomb. He goes down to 4, but he'll keep hold of what little he had. Okay, G2 3, they take the pistol. Now they are going to have to do the impossible every single round. This is going to be a Gambit force, so we'll get to see how the very best do it. What does Shiro equip himself with? Does he play it more conservative for that CT AWP, or will we get a scout out of him? No, nope, just going to keep it light.
The CZ, okay, making a bit of a return here, and he went with head armor. So sure, he saved 850, but still a pretty decent investment, all things considered. Let's see if they can shake G2 up even more so. That pistol round is one to forget, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just, yeah, a bit of a misread. Okay, out middle they go. 4 players looking hungry for some frags. Smoke's being lined up.
We've seen this, the G2 smoke. It's just a little extra special now. And they're ahead of it. Doesn't really cover off the cross. Oh, big gap for the Hobbit Deeg to thrive. And now it's Axel to throw a finishing blow, a finishing touch. The CZ connects, the bomb's delivered. And G2 starting to crumble in just the second round of play. Good find from Nico. Nexa long range on the MAC-10, saving them both a whole lot of stress. They can keep their hair follicles on. No stress right now. They'll even have an eco to chill.
Oof, that one almost got out of control, didn't it? Okay, great first shot here from Hobbit. And then you can just see, like, there's 3 directions that you're having to worry about while crossing that window position. Up, down, the axis is not easy for anyone whatsoever. But yeah, you're right, it will be the eco. So now G2 will certainly be up to their 5th. Amanek with his signature gun, looking for space over towards this B bomb site. Nexa and Hunter working on A. And Hunter's fantastic at this short position, at least when he's given the room. Hobbit with the flash ready and raring to go. He's not actually going to use it towards A. Throwing bodies at the problem. Nafany's hearing this, and he's going to be segregated from his teammates. Ah, so the moonwalk. So Michael Jackson special right there. And they're just coming A now, so regrouping, bomb being picked up from Jax. This one here should be over pretty damn quick.
I reckon it's gone 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2... Not quite. Axel lives on.
Oh, he's going to really be a nuisance here, isn't he? Going to make him chase, going to make them throw more bodies if they want to take the MAC-10 away, and they don't need to.
I wouldn't bother, especially with your low HP AKs. Let's keep everything we possibly can for this impossible task ahead of us.
How many do you think they're going to get? 7?
Yeah, I mean, knowing Counter-Strike, it'll be, 11.
But remember Gambit against EG yesterday? They definitely not gave away big leads, but EG were able to grind their way back in until Gambit made the necessary adjustments. So I think for G2, they can work on a bit of a bag of rounds here now that they've set themselves up with this nice solid base of pistol and then the conversions. But yeah, it's not going to be, like, to have a 13-2 T-half of their own in response, that would be wild scenes. Absolutely wild scenes.
Unprecedented scenes. All right, let's get back into it. Let's get out of that replay that we're still watching and bring you the action for round 19. Folks, if possible, we'll get back into that game as soon as we can. Is anyone in the production room at all? Anyone at all?
All right, we're having a couple of issues in the back room, so we can give you the action with a bit of audio cast here. It is just going to be slightly delayed from what we're seeing to what you're seeing, and there you go. We're all fixed on up. Opening kill, Nafany's gone down over towards that A ramp, and we've been talking about his aggression, so immediately it's been met. And things are being slowed on down here by G2. Hunter lining up that smoke to help facilitate some room over towards scaffolding, and it's all a bit of a ruse, actually. They're now pivoting back towards middle, so they've pipped the gap, or forced the gap. Nobody towards B, just Axel towards middle here, and this is looking very good for G2.
It really is. Not only with the early absence of Nafany, but the same smoke, and they do cross through it. Up they go, and a wide open B site. That's business as expected.
And another round. So, yeah, okay, this is now starting to get a bit more interesting. They've quickly found themselves what will be the 6th round. The 7th shouldn't be too far away. We're talking about max loss bonus on the other side, so Gambit will be able to do the classic drop guns across, but that's if they're allowed to save. You can see they've already been cut off. They cannot push past this bridge position without going into the Cousins crossfire. This one wasn't meant to be drawn out at all. I think the fact that G2 is showing a bit of fight here speaks wonders for the series. If they just got blown out, the individual's not getting warmed up, we would have some bigger problems. And this hunt is actually on. They're really looking for these kills now, G2.
This is going to achieve an awful lot. If they can take Shiro's AWP away, which is easier said than done, Jax might have a chance to throw a bullet at Shiro. Go on, my son! Down to half. Shiro lives on. Okay. Okay. Gambit will have their AWPing presence into the next. And I'll actually take a timeout just to discuss probably the same things we've just been discussing. Don't want to let this one slip away. It's been a 13-2 half that we've witnessed G2 come out of the gates here swinging, finding 4 consecutive to start off their T campaign.
The thing is, this is only going to be, what, their second real, actually no, yeah, this isn't even really going to be a real gun round, right? So they haven't even been able to put up that much of a fight just due to the economic situation. And with the money, the discussion is what are we going to drop and who's going to make the sacrifice. Now, Inters can drop a rifle, Shiro can drop a rifle. So they can get 4 M4s, well, 3 M4s and an AWP out to play, and then maybe an SMG. And Nafany, well, he's bought in with a Deagle, so it looks like they're going for more of the half-buy option and seeing if they can get the most out of the 2 saved guns. Shiro with the 3400 can buy himself again in the next round. Same for Inters if they lose everything. So you can understand the decision-making here.
If G2 do come back with a 13T round comeback,
Vince will eat a boot.
he certainly might, but we might have to get that Vertigo T-sided up in arms pitchforks once again.
That's everyone's favorite. It's just Nafany towards A, so they're really trying to funnel them towards this mid and B area, and that's where G2 have been finding avenues mid to late round, but this time they're just heading straight over towards the B lobby.
Oh, look at that. That's a great camera to embody just how locked in this B site should be. They will react to the utility and be there at least a little bit. Oh, Hobbit. His first contact and it's a drive-by on Nex, and now Inters is chipping in. G2, oh, getting whittled away at. Oh, dear. Everyone's dead. 5 to find. Hunter, impossible task. Too many angles. It's Inters with 3. Locking it down. Weapons to be hoovered up as best they can. And there goes the first brick in the G2 wall. More to follow. Gambit make it 14.
Yeah, well, that was the unexpected round. The one that they weren't meant to win.
But they weren't even in the right place. It felt like G2 had done enough. They're just in, like, the CTs were in CT as that util was thrown onto B. But the fact that Hobbit starts catching the first on the cross into so many connections with his M4.
It's strange that there was no utility to dissuade the players a little bit more defensively, right? They focused it all on towards the side. Whoa, Axel jumps up. He gets Sneeko down to 4 HP here. So another opening for G2 in a gun round. They've been able to pip the gap before. Can they do it again? A very important round here. Cash was a little bit skimp for a few of the members as far as utility was going. They need to avoid going down to a multi-kill here of Gambit. They've left Nafany over towards A. He's got Shiro in tow. Hobbit dealing with mid and Inters over towards B.
Oh, Vision, Stitz, holding the line. Shiro does lose his life. Nafany had a choice, sandbags or back to sight. He opts for sight. And this is powerful. He can basically hold both sides of it. With Hobbit getting a frag, if Hunter didn't take that head off, we were talking. But now, 2-man advantage. G2 not going to try and throw this away. They are light on smokes. Flashes will have to suffice. It does seem to have served its purpose. The bomb's now down, and looks like G2 will recover after conceding their 14th.
Okay, so in 2 of the key gun rounds here, opening kills have gone their way. Nafany gave up a death, and then the same there for Axel. And we don't normally say that about Axel. So the fact he gets the dink and done, I think you see in the battle there of Nico in a big way. So that's a massive find. If G2 can continue to convert these offerings that Gambit are coming to the table with, yeah, he can continue to add a few more rounds to the board. This will be 7. Loss bonus, 2,900. Taking a little bit of a look there. Nafany can buy, Axel can buy. Shiro, plenty of cash. So another gun round. And Gambit, they're really just, this is like grinding it out, right? You know, they're not taking too many unnecessary risks. They're just going through the paces, saving when they have to, and then they're going to strike when they have the right chances. It feels labored, and it feels like, you know, that G2 are getting a couple of offerings to get back into the game, but Gambit are doing this by the book. And if they get another eco win in the future like they did just before with those 2 saved guns, well, that could be all they need. There you see that replay position. And it's interesting that Shiro hangs around, right? We know how powerful that one-way smoke is. We see Art use it. We've seen Nafany using it on the T side. Hunter's using it to great success as well here. And back they go, straight over. On towards the scaff. 17 kills for Hunter, and he's got a bit of peppity step.
He does. Confirms no push out. Hobbit's lined up the incendiary to support Shiro when feeling under the thumb. Great molly to push Shiro away from that short line. If Hunter does peek, though, he may not be expecting the AWP to still be posted up. Who's going to break serve first? Or rather, sorry, break the silence. Good nade damage.
Oh, they're coming in to pick top ramp now. See him creeping forward.
This is what they're waiting for.
Molly missed.
Shiro crawling. Hunter just looks away, and they strike in unison. Gambit, 2 frags, problems. Amanek trying to dip through the gap. We saw how much damage Inters did when he slipped this gap late mid. And speaking of, Inters is the one to check it. Just in the nick of time, he slipped through silently. Exile exposes himself. That's a big frag to find. Maybe there's hope for G2 in round 22. A recovered AWP. He's fend and locked down the entire rotate. Inters might be jumping straight into Amanek's scope. Big frags from Amanek. Oh dear. Another needed. Nafany is contesting that plant. The bomb now down thanks to Jax. If he could just dump his util, he could buy some space. A release of the crouch key will seal the fate of Nafany. Oh, I say that. He lives on for a second longer. Now, surely the round is theirs. Okay, a sigh of relief for casters and players alike. G2 make it 8.
Oh, and that's the one where they had the necessary opening kills. So G2 even making it work after giving up 2 big frags over towards A. That looked like that's all they needed for Gambit to secure 15. So Amanek, the heroics right there.
He completely saved them. And the fact he's staring at that generator, Axel just happens to expose himself.
Yeah, because Axel, like, moving around there, maybe he was thinking, I need to just have a quick look at mid, right? If he doesn't do that and Amanek slips through spawn, maybe Amanek gets caught at another point.
Yeah.
They don't end up in B like that.
What's he doing with a Mac-10 when flanking A? You know,
Yeah.
you're in Sniper's Nest, what, peppering them on Crane? I mean, this was the best case scenario.
Gonna get another timeout taken here
Chad,
from
G2
Gambit.
don't do this, do they?
Look,
13-2. I haven't seen many of those.
it's unlikely, right? And this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about, grinding out. So Gambit, in terms of some of their saves, they haven't gone for rounds where maybe they could have so far.
Sure.
So this is why I think if we get to round 25, right, and G2 have won the next 2 consecutively, then we can start getting, well, double digits. The classic rule, the one we always run with. When they get double digits, it's on, all right? Okay. So if G2 can convert 2 more rounds here, looking very, very good to be back in it, and I was not expecting this by any means.
What do you make of Nexa deliberately opting for a Mac-10?
Where's he spawned for right now? Let me have a little bit of a look.
I mean, they've got
here.
head armor. It's really not going to bang. He must want to do something with his spawn. He's got the bomb.
He has enough money for an AK here, so this could be a quicker approach. They haven't really done anything too pacey just yet, G2. Could just be hard A.
He is a man on a mission. Kept honest by the incendiary.
Okay, well, now it becomes more curious. The close range of the Mac-10, sure, you're right. It's mainly head armor here, other than Inters. Jumping accuracy, I suppose, to help open up some angles, help open up some corners where they don't want to use that util.
It feels very loud on A. Like, there's no secret about this. Nico on the AWP this time. Smoke and Molotov buys a lot of space. Nexa sweeping in, and there's the Mac-10 combined with the AK. 2 frags. Shiro over the smoke on that headshot box. Amanek trying to evade, and it looks like Gambit are opting to save.
Yeah, this is just going to keep happening, right? The one round where they had the opportunity, they still lost the round. So when this happens, when the site's taken, they lose the opening kills, they will just continue to do this. G2, if they want, they can start chasing now, right? They can start hunting because Jax is dead. He has 6.6. You've got 8K on Nico, right? They can definitely throw a body or 2 at trying to take away some of these rifles here. But conservative stuff from G2, and, well, I didn't think it was possible at all. Like, I can't believe they've kept Gambit just on 1 CT round so far. 13-2 to 14-9. Maybe because they have such a lead, right? Well, not maybe, definitely, because there's. It feels like there's no rush. If the scoreline ends 16-14, doesn't matter. They still win the game, right? So that's the thing. Gambit are just playing the fact that they have this huge buffer. But I feel like it's doing wonders for G2's confidence, maybe on a map that they weren't feeling too confident on in the first place.
Yeah, well, this is definitely doing wonders for them, regardless of the final result. A different G2 will be stepping into Ancient now. Ouch, that's gonna hurt. A nade right between the cousins. Exile, he's got very well-drilled rituals here, and he does spot out Amanek on that sandbags boost. It looks like they want to commit to this. Counter flash has forced him away. Exile gets away.
They just used a lot of util for not a whole lot here, G2. Now we're just looking for frags. That Nico AWP, it strikes. Axar's down. That's the B defender. Will they expect a second on the site?
Great find, great find. Inter's, oh, flubbed his smoke. It's not the end of the world.
Channeling them back to Nafany.
Yo, this is unusual. You don't see a mid return late. At least not commonly. Look, how often do you see 40s climbing up the ladder at 50 seconds?
This is the gap I think they've identified with their prep here, GT, because we've seen them go back to mid time and time again, but Shiro's posted up.
This time, there's an AWP to break, and you've got...
Oh, he just moved away. He's just moved away.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
The gap. They've got it again.
Ooh. Yeah, no one's looking. And CT's smoked. Nafany will hear this. They're swinging elevator. He stands to deliver the first. 3 versus 3. G2 are more wounded, but it's only Shiro solo on A.
We can stop the plant from here.
He certainly could. Next are dead to Winters. Here we go. 10 seconds. How are they supposed to plant? In the smoke. Bodyguarded by Amanek. Uncontested. Inters jump straight past. G2 looking for a 10th here, and it's all onto Amanek. Can he come up clutch? And he's saving them again. 1-on-1. Shiro fakes it. Amanek trying to test his limits, and he jumps straight into the clutches of Shiro. 15, and it comes down to a 1v1.
Oh, that one right there. So flustered in the tail end. What, 30 seconds as they're trying to pivot through middle? Almost, Amanek almost gets them across the line.
Whoa, let's see how this one shaped up again. So not only does Inters jump past, but Amanek, he has to commit to that. He starts making so much noise. I think he wanted to just completely call the bluff, but no one wants to concede 15 to a diffused bomb 1v1.
Yeah, that's the rough part of that one right there. Just with how disconnected it is. And it's another one of those rounds that you remember in that first half where Jax killed the guy at Forklift and then Nafany was in A and everybody was everywhere. Yeah. This is another one of these situations. You don't find yourself in a post plant in that position very often. It's a tough one to play for G2. But once again, respectable scoreline that's being clawed back here. They've made Gambit sweat. And Gambit are pulling out the double AWPs again. So Axel and Shiro wielding those. The coach chipping on in. This is a timeout from G2, and you may as well use it. You're up against it here. 6 more to take us to OT. Just one more for Gambit to pick up that map choice and bring us over to Ancient. We're definitely getting that one in the series. Has been picked by G2, criticized by the desk. Cannot wait to see what Gambit have to offer on the newest map to the pool. Let's get this one underway.
Yeah. The only reason I'm excited for this one to end is because I'm excited for Ancient to start. Let's see if Gambit can throw a final blow.
I think they've heard a scope. They immediately backpedaled away from B, right? They flashed. They were looking like they wanted to leer on in towards the lobby position and then didn't even consider it. So maybe a scope heard over towards the B side. That's going to funnel them back towards A. And uh-oh, Nafany.
You heard that, right? And Hunter just unloads his mag as it fades. G2 have been given a gift there. They've taken down the in-game leader. The one-way will not help if they cross. Oh, a chance shot. Just whistles past the hip. Smokes are going to pop. And his chance is very limited to contest here. Bomb going down. No one can nade.
You know what's going to happen here, Alex, don't you?
What?
That 4-letter word.
Kill.
Save.
Oh, I don't want it to be that way. Just some wishful thinking from me. Yeah, I looked like I wanted to say save when I saw Shiro looking towards CT Sport. I just didn't have it in me at 5v4. Just didn't have it in me.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
The problem is...
You know exactly why.
Yeah.
They've got another 5 chances. And you'd rather have those chances with a full kit. Double AWP retake, just not going to happen.
We could have gone with love as a 4-letter word there, I guess.
Yeah.
It's love, not war. Gambit are big proponents of that right now. Can't we settle this another way?
Let's meet in Versailles and let's sign a treaty.
Oh, dearie me. Okay. I'm going to quickly just look through how many rounds that we've had saved players so far. The pistol round, they saved. Well, round 4, they saved. Round 6, they saved. 7, 8. Round 10, they saved. They've had someone save in more rounds than not here in this second half. Going back to the round they wanted to do last time.
Yeah, Axel didn't scope up this time, but it's still in play.
Inters is filling that gap, and now that the second molly has been dropped, that's a lot of information. There at least were 2 players on that site. It looks like they're setting up for one of these B finishes again. 3 players over towards A. Axile passive AWPing middle, and Inters this time with all of it to do on the B side. Here we go.
He loves this spot because it's never mollied. He can just stand there, have conviction in that first fight. Oh, straight through! Amanek tries to sprint through the flames. Inters is ruining their day. Jax claws 1 back for G2, but it looks like Axile is here to finish Vertigo. Hunter partners up with Jax, a 2 versus 4. Oh, the elevated position of Nafany on the smoke could be a problem, and the smoke fades. Axile can connect. Now the smoke is the least of their troubles. Hunter to try and save G2's Vertigo. This is Gambit's pick, and they have demonstrated as to why. A 13-2 half. And it ends with a nade. There it is. Gambit take their map pick. The world #1 puts it 1-0. We'll be heading over to Ancient, the new addition to the map pool, baby, and it's coming to your screens right after the break before Frankie Ward, Kassad, and Yanko get you fully equipped.